Do you recognize this little rig? Does it look familiar to you? Well, it should, because this 2020 Buick Encore GX is the spitting image of the old Mercedes-Benz B-Class wagon. You remember the B-Class? Well, it's not sold in Canada any longer. It's been replaced by a bunch of other things. But in execution and in design and concept, the Encore is just like that old B-Class, except of course Buick calls it a crossover or an SUV. Anything not to call it a wagon or a minivan. I'd call the Encore a very practical all-around hauler. One with seats that fold flat. I mean, even the front passenger side seat folds flat. And a bucket load of technologies. Yes, the powertrain is slightly uninspiring, though the fuel efficiency is good enough. And there's a price tag that suggests Buick thinks its brand runs in Mercedes-Benz territory. In fact, Buick has a new tagline, the Premium SUV brand, or the Premium SUV Company, something like that. Truth is, Buick doesn't sell cars anymore, not in Canada. Now in China, where Buick is a huge success, yes, Buick does sell some cars, but not here. The Encore GX is one of 3 little rigs with the Encore name. The GX is in the middle of the range. There is also a starter Encore and a GX ST. Up market from the Encore is the Envision. Then there's the Enclave and the Enclave Avenir. Gone are the old Buick nameplates like the Regal, the Century, the LaCrosse, and God forbid the lamentable Rendezvous, minivan, wagon, whatever it was. It was really ugly. Confused about Buick? You should be. 3 Encores from a brand in transition is tricky enough to figure out. And Buick overall has been a brand in transition since General Motors emerged from bankruptcy a decade ago. Anyway, enough history. What the B-Class tells us is that Mercedes-Benz was ahead of its time and has since gone backwards by killing the B-Class in Canada. Well, Mercedes-Benz's mistake is Buick's opportunity, and it's right here in the Encore GX. The Encore GX is a pretty little confection of wagon design. There are pleasant creases and curves here and there, and a handsome grille. You'll find creative lighting arrays and big wheels. It's sold with all sorts of safety features, even available adaptive cruise control. You also get Bluetooth pairing for 2 phones, Alexa to keep you company, a 2-stage load floor, and the sort of fuel economy you'd expect from a car with a 3-cylinder engine. You heard that right. The 3-banger in 2 versions is the only engine choice available with the Encore GX. Yes, it's turbocharged, and yes, it's powerful enough, but small turbos tend to be jittery and jumpy. You have to learn how to manage the throttle, and this Encore is no exception. If you want all the latest safety gadgets, they are either standard or available. The basic stuff includes lane keep assist and automatic emergency braking. Extras? Well, adaptive cruise, automatic parking assist, and a rear camera mirror. Well, those are just 3 of the things that can drive the price tag to well above $30,000, closer to $40,000 all in. As for connectivity, by God, Buick has you covered on all the bases. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, a built-in Amazon Alexa app, multiple Bluetooth pairing. The technology list goes on and on. You can use Alexa to talk with your car, or you can use the touchscreen like an iPad to swipe through various screens. All the operations are seamless and understandable and manageable. I gotta tell you, GM has really nailed the packaging here. There's a lot of interior cabin room for cargoes and people. The seats are comfortable. The visibility is very good. The second row folds dead flat 60/40, and so does the front passenger bucket. Ride comfort? The story there is good and bad. Even at highway speeds, this cabin is quiet. Wind and road noises are nicely muffled. But if you are looking for a perfectly cushioned ride in a responsive runabout, well, that's not quite the case here. This feels a bit like an economy car with a handsome, comfy, quiet cabin. Let me mention here that you can get all-wheel drive with this Encore, and it can be turned on and off. Buick has put a lot of thought into the details here, lots of smart stuff. And in fact, this upscale urban wagon could be your only car if you lived in the city. And that makes sense in this new work-from-home environment where people are downsizing from 2 to 1 car and maybe just an e-bike. Don't stop. Buick does it familiar, like city spitting image in has real bling 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 car families, and from why did that